We are still now in the exhibition, and now I have the pleasure to talk to Mr. Roger Tender, MCI. Mr. Roger, would you please just highlight the importance and significance of such forums?
I mean, we are very interested to participate on this forum. We've already participated last year. Our company is in the business of organizing events and consulting associations and corporations, and obviously in Saudi Arabia this is starting to be more and more important.
Yeah. Such forums will, give a very good importance, for example, recruitment, and it will also develop the trade and industry for example, in the Eastern Province and also in general, in Saudi Arabia in general. How would you highlight that, sir?
I mean, I think that what I really like about is that third day today, which is called the Associations Day, which I think that this market has a huge potential for Saudi Arabia to be developed. So I think on a national level. So that is really why I'm here and why I'm presenting today my speech that I'm going to do later today.
Good. Since you are an expert in such field, how do you compare, such exhibitions being outside, globally or in Saudi Arabia?
I mean, obviously, in terms of quality of everything that is being made and is being presented, is absolutely on par with what is happening in the rest of the planet. Now, in terms of the developing and the opening of the associations and to participate, to attract international associations to come and hold their meeting in Saudi Arabia, that is obviously the wish of the organizers, and I believe we're getting there. We're working on it.
Welcome back, our dear viewers, here in the Saudi Morning Show. We're moving to our third segment, the Saudi Forum for Exhibition and Conference. And joining us here in the studio, Engineer Tariq Al-Isa. He is the CEO of the Saudi Exhibition and Convention Bureau. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi.
At the beginning, Engineer Tariq, can you tell us about the third Saudi Forum exhibition?
Yes, actually this forum called the Saudi Exhibitions and Convention Forum. It's an event that rotates around Saudi Arabia. It's the third edition of it. It was held in Dammam last week, actually. The event was under the patronage of Prince Sultan bin Salman. He's the he's the president of the Saudi Commission for Tourism and Antiquities, and the governor, and Prince Saud bin Naif, the governor of Eastern Province. The event actually was a gathering of the people or the experts who are working on the conventions and conferences and exhibition sector in Saudi Arabia. The aim of that event is to have an annual event for those people to stay in one place, communicate and discuss their issues, and have a look to the international experience, where we attract some international speakers to talk about their experience, to highlight destinations in terms of their opportunities to hold conferences and exhibitions. In addition of that, also to present what are the opportunities to youth, and how youth can be involved in leading the future of the conferences and exhibitions sector in Saudi Arabia. So the event was a 3-day event. The attendance was about 1,600 experts or professional working on that field. Actually, there is the suppliers and the buyers in the conferences and exhibition sector attended that event. There is one sub-event from that event called the Saudi Association Day, where associations are play a big role in the conferences sector in Saudi Arabia. So we specified a day to talk with associations and to see their problems and their issues, and how we can go forward to increase the rank of Saudi Arabia in terms of association meetings, because it's a big sector. and we would like to position Saudi Arabia as a destination on these type of meetings, association meetings.
All right, and also, Engineer Tariq, I understand you're an executive manager at the Saudi Exhibition and Convention Bureau, and this is the third convention and exhibition held in Dammam. But let's take a look back in you mentioned earlier it's an annual event. So as I understand now, the third one is in 2015. So the first one started in 2013.
Yes.
So from 2013 up to now, in the third form of exhibition and conference, what has been done so far?
Actually, it's that event is a milestone for us. It's one of our initiatives as the Saudi Convention and Exhibition Bureau. We have a lot of activities we are doing, and one of our activities and initiatives is having an annual event. This annual event, as you know, we review the status of the conventions and exhibitions industry in Saudi Arabia. We usually invite government officials to attend and speak at that event and discuss the needs of the people who are working in the exhibition and conference sector in Saudi Arabia, and also to give them an understanding about what are these needs. So, for example, when you talk about visas and accessibility for people to come to Saudi Arabia to attend these events, every year the Ministry of Foreign Affairs participate in this event and talk to the people who are working what are the improvements have been done in the area of accessibility and visa in this area. And every year there is an improvement, and they update the people with that improvement and have a feedback from the people what are their issues.
But the data, where do they put it, Engineer Tariq? Like the results, like you mentioned now, and I really like the assignment because this sounds to me a very scientific way of studying the community, the market, what is needed, what are the things that will eventually, maybe now or the future, will help this generation or the future generation. But the data and the results, where can be shown?
I will tell you, the data and results is posted on the event website. But I will maybe note something, is that it is the power of meetings. When people have a conference in any sector, what they do exactly, they communicate and they coordinate and they cooperate, they collaborate, they innovate. So all of this area, where you can do it, when people gather, when they communicate. And as you know, this is the power of meetings. So that is what we believe about having an annual event. Helps people to understand each other and to communicate with each other and have future results.
Certainly. Now here I would like to ask you again, Engineer Tariq, though you have already been saying it, but just to clarify for our viewers that whenever it is that we're having exhibitions and conferences in Saudi Arabia, the gateway is open for participants to be coming from all over the world.
Yes.
Participants who are going to be either the exhibitors or part of the team of exhibitors, or if it's conferences, then that means that the speakers who are going to be coming and the people who would be involved with it.
Okay. First of all, let me note something. The Saudi government, the King Salman, they established the Saudi Exhibition and Convention Bureau. And they realized the importance of the conferences and exhibition sector. So our role right now is to facilitate and to work with our party and advocate and work with other government agencies to take off the barriers for people to do events in Saudi Arabia. One of the areas, our goals is to developing the regulatory framework in the conferences and exhibition sector in Saudi Arabia. That include accessibility, visas, and this is an issue. And this has been formulated, the team between us and Ministry of Foreign Affairs to solve this issue and to improve that area. Other areas called about customs, products when they come to Saudi Arabia through customs and participate in exhibitions especially. Another area we are talking with customs to develop that area, talking about foreign investment, companies to come to Saudi Arabia and do events. Also, we're working with SAGA, Saudi Investment Authority, to facilitate the accessibility of companies to come to Saudi Arabia and organize events. Other areas called about licensing, having a one-stop shop If you want to do an event, you go to one place and get your license and do directly to your event.
Instead of going to multiple places.
Multiple places. So all of these areas, we are working it under the goal of developing the regulatory framework in conferences and exhibitions. Even talking about the women participation in these type of events. According to our religious and customs in Saudi Arabia, how we can make it happen. And this is another area we're working with other government agencies, how to maximize the participants of women in Saudi exhibitions and conferences. Well, that meets our religious and customs and social requirements in Saudi Arabia.
Wonderful. That's really remarkable, because a lot of the times we get to see that people have a plan, they have an idea, but they do not know how to bring it to the implementation stages, because there is no set modus operandi for them to be able to, okay, fine, so these are the steps that I would do. So we're glad that Saudi Exhibition and Convention Bureau is going to be making it so easy for the people. That means that our market is going to be much more open for people to be bringing in new ideas through different events and exhibitions, particularly to be able to test the waters in Saudi Arabia and eventually to be even having larger business setups here. Now with this, Engineer Tariq, tell us a little bit more as to what are some of the aims and objectives for the future of the Saudi Exhibition and Convention Bureau. What are some of the things that you're working at?
Yes. Okay. As you know, the structure of the Bureau is supervised by the Saudi Commission for Tourism and Antiquities, and there is other government agencies within the board are supervising the Bureau. As I described before, we are working on developing the regulatory framework, and then we have another 5 goals, is having, developing and creating, working with other parties to create convention centers, to increase the capability of Saudi Arabia to host events. One of the issues we have in Saudi Arabia is we have a lack of having a space, big spaces for exhibitions and conferences, and that area we're working with it with other parties. Another area working is about providing information and statistics, measuring the economic impact of that sector. This is one of our goals. Another area is working in developing the human capacity, which include developing the youth and having training to them so they can work in that sector. And right now there is something called the Saudi Academy for Events Management. It has been established, going to be activated next year. This academy will be focused on training for Saudis so they can be involved in that sector. Another area is we call it developing standards and procedures and policies in the area of conferences and exhibitions in Saudi Arabia. That include classifying companies. We have in Saudi Arabia around 3,100 companies working in the field of organizing and supplying conference and exhibitions. So we're going to work on classifying these companies and developing these companies and having some programs and initiatives to help these companies so they can organize events in Saudi Arabia, successful events in Saudi Arabia. Another area we are working on is promoting Saudi Arabia as a destination for conferences and exhibitions. Meet Saudi Arabia, meet Riyadh, meet Jeddah, meet Dammam, meet Hail, meet Qasim, meet Jazan. Saudi Arabia. So, in the time being, we are doing some many marketing activities in the, like our participation today in this channel, is marketing in a local level. We want people to meet, make more conferences domestically. After 1 year, in year 2016, we're going to start to do promotional activities regionally. During year 2017 plus, we're going to go outside the world and promote Saudi Arabia and tell people, come do conferences and exhibitions in Saudi Arabia.
Indeed, and I believe, Engineer Tariq, that with the technology nowadays and the new century, that the standards of any business to be successful, especially when it's a bureau, it becomes higher and more complicated. But our dear viewers will be taking you in a short report about the 3rd Saudi Forum of Exhibition and Conference. After that, we'll be joining again Engineer Tariq and telling us more about the 3rd Saudi Forum of Exhibition and Conference. Stay tuned.
having this sense now, talk to one of the exhibitors now in this exhibition, please. Would you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Nofal Hamad. I'm contributing with the 4 events. I present and supervisor the registration area for the females. I found this exhibit very outstanding and perfect in arrangement. And it's open for me new knowledge and met new people from Riyadh. And I'm looking forward to know a lot for the exhibits and the conferences.
Yeah. Well, would you think that this, opportunity or this exhibition will give a kind of recruitment opportunity for Saudi young men?
Sure, it will open a lot of positions and a new challenge for them, for new also graduated people and newcomers from America and whatever. And it will be a good opportunity.
You have been to previous, exhibitions or forums now. How do you think this exhibition is different?
I found this exhibit very, very, very perfect one. And I'm looking forward also to work with them again and to go with 4 events actually. And that's it.
Welcome back. So, well, there are always discussions off air while you were witnessing this report, and Naif was sharing his experience of recently visiting some of the beautiful big facilities which were in Tokyo. So we were speaking to Engineer Tariq a bit off air about the feasibility of such kind of projects in Saudi Arabia. So we would be asking him now on air to be able to have a detailed answer to it. Please, Engineer Tariq, tell us more about it.
Yes, precisely, it's feasible to have conferences in Saudi Arabia, and we have actually a golden opportunity. Saudi Arabia is unique, and we can be a unique destination in having conferences and exhibitions. I will tell you why. Saudi Arabia is a member of the G20 group, so it is economically a strong country. When you're having conferences and exhibitions, it is correlated purely with economy. When your economy is strong, you need to have strong conferences and exhibitions. Another area Saudi Arabia has an ownership is where the Mecca and Medina, and we are the head of Islam, and that is give you another opportunity to host conference and exhibition in that area. Saudi Arabia also is unique in terms of there is some comparative advantage where they have strong industries, power, oil. You talk about dates, water desalination, petrochemicals. All of these events, all of these sectors, we are strong in Saudi Arabia. So we will have the ability to host conferences and exhibitions in these sectors. In addition of that, there is the medical sector. If you talk about medical sector in Saudi Arabia, how many thousands of doctors there are in Saudi Arabia? There is a big need for these doctors to develop conferences for them so they can attend these conferences and develop their knowledge in terms of medicine and that sector. So there are many opportunities. Saudi Arabia also geographically, it's in a unique, it's at the center of the world geographically. Saudi Arabia, even politically, is strong. So all of these advantages give us the opportunity to be a unique destination in the terms of conferences and exhibitions. Yes.
Remarkable, and we hope that Saudi Arabia is going to become that, and all the more. With this, Engineer Tariq Alisa would like to thank you so much for bringing about such interesting ideas on the